queen of avoiding her jail sentence, honestly. Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos on basically anything on the internet that interests me, ranging from pop culture to internet culture to anything in between. So if any of that interests you, then be sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. Alrighty guys, so in today's video, before we get into it, I just want to address the fact that I know that I have a hole in my shirt, but I really wanted to wear this shirt because the amount of times that I say MTV in this video is astonishing, so I thought that it was only fitting for me to wear my MTV shirt, because today we're going to be talking about Disney pop icons or Disney teen idols or Disney stars, whatever you want to call them, and talking about who is the most iconic. And the 5 Disney stars that we'll be discussing today is Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, and Demi Lovato. I feel like those 5 are the most iconic from the Disney pop icon era, and we're going to be discussing who is the most iconic and finding out who is definitively through my system that I've created, where we will look at 3 different categories, the first being film and TV, the second being music, the third being public image, and then we'll rank all 5 in the category, and then we'll get a point ranging from 1 to 5 in each category depending on where they are in that category, and then I will add it up all together and definitively rank who is the most iconic. It sounds confusing now, but when we get to it, it'll make sense. And there's nothing I love more than Disney pop idols and looking at their messy careers. So let's get into it because I'm about to dive in to these Disney teen idols. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, before we get into the video, I just want to go ahead and thank the sponsor of today's video, Harry's, for making this video possible, and we just have a few words from them before we dive on into the tea. So before Harry's, I really didn't like shaving. I didn't like how blunt the razors used to get and how the hair would get caught in it and how it was so much effort, but with Harry's it is so easy to get such a smooth feel along my skin. As you guys can tell, I usually keep hair around my goatee area, but the rest of my face and my neck I like to keep smooth, and with Harry's I can get such a smooth, even shave, and the razor doesn't become blunt or unusable over time. It lasts quite a while, and I'm sure you guys want to go ahead and take better care of yourself now that it's the New Year's, and why not do it with Harry's? And if you don't know what Harry's is, they're a personal self-care brand that has reinvented the way that you shave, helping you to shave in a premium, hassle-free way. And Harry's is starting the year off right by supporting great causes, and you can go ahead and help them do so, as they give 1% of their global sales to non-profit organizations that provide mental health care to men in need. Now, my experience using Harry's was amazing. They have a high-quality weighted handle with a textured rubber grip and one 5-blade razor cartridge. They have a flex hinge which allows the blade to follow the contours of your face. I have sensitive skin, so the foaming gel is really great for that, as they contain natural ingredients such as aloe vera and cucumber, which hydrates and refreshes your skin. And it's ridiculously easy to get the razor refills delivered to your door every few weeks. Harry's just released their sharpest ever blade, and they're just at the low price of $2 each. And you can get this trial set for only $3 for a high quality shaving kit that is an absolute steal. And you can redeem your trial set for just $3 when you go to harrys.com/LukeAlexander. That's harrys.com/Luke Alexander. Thank you so much to Harry's for sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and dive back into it. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about their career highlights, so if I miss something, it's because I don't have time to go in depth about each career timeline for each individual pop icon, so I'm just going to do their highlights. So let's get into their filmography, where I'll be discussing all of their film and TV appearances and highlights, and I'll be going through each different icon, and let's go ahead and start with Miss Hilary Duff. So I'm going to be looking down at my computer to read through my notes because I have a lot of them, so excuse my lack of eye contact. Normally I like to keep it real intimate with you guys, but we're going to be bringing it down here. So, the aspiring actress got her first Hollywood break when she landed the role of Wendy in Casper Meets Wendy TV show 1998. In 2000, she was cast in the new sitcom Daddy-O, which was dropped from after the pilot, and Hilary was discouraged, but by the very next week she had landed the lead role on the Disney Channel show Lizzie Mcguire. Following the launch of Lizzie Mcguire, Duff received a significant amount of fame and media attention. After its second season, Duff and Disney entered negotiations for an extension to the Lizzie McGuire franchise, but the show came to an end over pay disputes. I assume Disney was getting a little bit greedy there. However, the success of the show led to her starring in the 2002 Disney Channel movie Cadet Kelly. In 2003, she starred in Agent Cody Banks and Cheaper by the Dozen, all of which did well in the box office. That same year, she starred in Lizzie McGuire the movie, for which she won a Teen Choice Award for Movie Breakout Star. In 2004, Duff starred in Cinderella Story, which did okay, and Raise Your Voice, which flopped. Desperately wanting to be taken more seriously as an adult actress, Hilary starred in The Perfect Man in 2005 and then Material Girls alongside her sister Hilary Duff in 2006, but both films ultimately flopped. She continued to act in several independent films and guest starred in a few TV shows, with a noticeable recurring role in Gossip Girl, where she performed a threesome with Dan and Vanessa. Very, very weird times in history. And this was all in an effort to boost her image as a series actress. And she then landed her first major TV role since Lizzie McGuire on the show Younger, which is currently still airing after 6 seasons. Go Hilary. She then starred in the 2018 Haunting of Sharon Tate, which drew mostly negative reviews due to the sensitive true story of the Charles Manson murder of Sharon Tate it's based off of, with Tate's sister criticizing the movie as classless and exploitative. She even garnered a Golden Raspberry for Worst Actress. Yikes, not too good for Hilary. Alrighty, now let's move on to the filmography of Miss Lindsay Lohan. Born into a wealthy family, she was brought into the spotlight at age 3 as a child model and commercial actress with more than 60 television spots and 100 print ads, all which helped her land the dual role of the twin sisters in the Disney's 1998 remake of The Parent Trap. Such a good movie, might I add. I've watched it a million times. Truly a childhood classic. Lohan's success in the film resulted in more Disney film roles. She starred in 2 made-for-TV films, Life Size Along Tyra Banks in 2000 and Get a Clue in 2002. Then the remake of Freaky Friday 2003, which earned Lohan the award for breakthrough performance at the 2004 MTV Movie Awards, and as of 2015, it has remained her most commercially successful film, earning $160 million worldwide. She then starred in the preteen comedy Confessions of a Drama Queen in 2004, which I personally love and think is an amazing movie, but it was unfortunately not met with critical acclaim. But it was her first starring role independent of Disney in Paramount's Mean Girls, written by comedian Tina Fey, that turned Lohan into a bona fide star. The movie received both popular and critical success, and it became the 24th highest grossing film of 2004 and led to Lohan being honored at the Teen Choice Awards and the MTV Movie Awards with the Breakout Star Award. In 2004, when Lohan was just 17, she became the youngest host of the MTV Movie Awards, and in 2006, she hosted the World Music Awards. Lohan returned back to Disney with her film Herbie Fully Loaded, marking the actress's transition into a more mature role. Her second film, independent of Disney, Just My Luck, came out in 2006 and received poor reviews, earning Lindsay her first Golden Raspberry nomination for Worst Actress. Yikes. She went on to focus on smaller roles in more mature independent films, one of which being the 2006 ensemble comedy A Prairie Home Companion, in which Lohan's co-star Meryl Streep said of Lohan's acting, "She is in command of the art form and completely visibly living in front of the camera." Honestly, getting that from Meryl Streep is a really, really big deal, so pat on the back to you, Lindsay. Her next film, Chapter 23, which she starred alongside Jared Leto, is a biopic about John Lennon's murder that was only released in 2008 after finishing filming in 2006 due to difficulties finding a distributor. In 2007, her film Georgia Rule, which she co-stars with Felicity Huffman and Jane Fonda, was released. During filming in 2006, Lohan was hospitalized, her representative saying she was overheated and dehydrated. And you'll find this becomes a pattern, Lindsay getting hospitalized for heat exhaustion. They said on set that they are all well aware of her ongoing all-night heavy partying, and it's the real reason for her so-called exhaustion. During the next few years, Lindsay was in and out of rehab and garnering the reputation of a party girl and an unreliable actress, constantly being hospitalized for heat exhaustion. But we will talk about this more when we get to her public image. The following years, Lindsay did a few more movies and guest appearances in TV shows, but nothing amounted to great success. And that's that for Lindsay's highlights in her filmography. Next up, we will move on to Miss Miley Cyrus. Born Destiny Hope Cyrus, Miley is the daughter of country music legend Billy Ray Cyrus. She rose to fame in 2006 when she won the lead character of Disney's Hannah Montana, for which the series ran for 4 seasons and had a successful movie. The series premiered to the largest audience for a Disney Channel program and quickly ranked among the highest rated series on basic cable, and its success led to Cyrus being labeled a teen idol. She toured with the Cheetah Girls in 2006 and did voiceover work for the animated film Bolt in 2008, for which the film was a critical and commercial success and earned her a Golden Globe Award nomination for Best Original Song for I Thought I Lost You When I Ran Away to Try to Find You. Such a good song. In 2010, she starred in The Lost Song, which was a box office hit, and also where she met her future husband, and now ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth. Cyrus starred along Demi Moore in the independent film LOL. The film had a limited release and was a critical and commercial failure, even though I personally enjoyed it, but I like anything that Miley's in. She then starred in the comedy So Undercover, appearing as an FBI agent required to go undercover at a college sorority. I love that movie. That is such a good movie. In 2019, she starred in an episode of the British show Black Mirror as a fictional fictional pop star who is creatively restricted by her management team. A bit on the nose with that one, if you ask me. That's it for Miley's filmography highlights. Next up, let's go over to Miss Selena Gomez. So Selena Gomez, like Demi Lovato, starred on Barney and Friends, which ran for 2 years, and she had guest appearances on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, and filmed a pilot episode for 2 potential Disney Channel series. All of this was before she landed her lead role as Alex Russo in the popular show Wizards of Waverly Place, which ran for 4 seasons. The series quickly became a hit for Disney Channel, propelling Gomez into more mainstream success, and the series received several nominations and awards. In 2009, Selena starred in the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, which premiered to an audience of 11.4 million viewers, becoming cable's #1 scripted telecast of 2009 and Disney Channel's second most viewed film premiere. The film won the series its second consecutive Emmy for Outstanding Children Program. In 2010, Gomez starred along Joey King and Ramona and Beezus, and the film premiered with generally positive reviews. Selena Gomez was later cast in the animated film in the Hotel Transylvania franchise, replacing Miley Cyrus, who declined the role. And she then had a role on the controversial film Spring Breakers starring James Franco. The film saw Selena in more of a mature role than her previous acting jobs, and it reportedly led to her having a bit of a meltdown on set, although it's not disclosed as to why she had the meltdown. In 2013, she starred in the film Getaway, which was a critical and commercial failure, and earned Selena her first nomination for Worst Actress at the 34th Golden Raspberry Awards. Ooh, it seems like all these actresses have won. She's been in a total of 29 movies, with the most noticeable being Princess Protection Program, Another Cinderella Story, Monte Carlo, and she executive produced the Netflix television series Garbage Fire, 13 Reasons Why. Okay, that's it for Selena, and let's move over to Miss Demi for her filmography. So she started out as a child actor in Barney and Friends, like I mentioned, like Selena, where the two actually met and became besties, after which she guest starred in television dramas Just Jordan and Prison Break. She began working with Disney in 2007 when she was cast on the TV show called As the Bell Rings. Her role ended as she was then cast as Mitchie Taurus in Camp Rock, where she has that iconic smile. So this is where she got her link with the Jonas Brothers, and she later went on tour with them, which was a really, really big deal. And she still to this day is pretty close with them. In 2008, she starred in the Princess Protection Program alongside Selena Gomez, which is a fantastic movie if you ask me. Lovato then landed the starring role in Sunny with a Chance in 2009, which became one of the most popular shows on Disney until its ending in 2011. She also landed a recurring role on Glee in 2013 as Santana Lopez's lover, so that was a really fun role. Alrighty guys, so those are all the filmography highlights of our Disney stars. Now let's go ahead and rank them. So I honestly think that the person who had the most successful film and TV run, to be honest, for me, is gonna have to be Lindsay Lohan. I just feel like Lindsay had the most iconic films like Mean Girls, Confessions, Freaky Friday. I just feel like her films were just super iconic. Yes, the longevity of her acting career was not that good, but I just feel like she really like had some iconic eras, and nothing is more iconic than Mean Girls if you ask me. Next up is gonna have to be Miley Cyrus. I just feel like Miley had such an iconic role as Hannah Montana, and then Hannah Montana the movie, The Lost Song, So Undercover, like all these iconic movies. Are you guys sick of me saying the word iconic yet? We'll get used to it because I'm gonna say it a lot in this video. I mean, her acting isn't as good as Lindsay's in my opinion, but I still think that she packs quite the punch. But obviously she wanted to focus more on her music career, so she left behind the acting, and she doesn't really act that much anymore, par the Black Mirror episode. Next up we have Selena Gomez. She had her really great role in Wizards of Waverly Place, and I think that was a really iconic role. And I feel like Selena, out of all these actors, has been the one who has probably done the most work in acting. Like she has done the most films, has the most under her belt, but I still don't think she was like as iconic as Miley or Lindsay in that regard, nor is she as good of an actress as Lindsay. I personally think that Lindsay is the best actress out of all these icons, and I think it's sad, like her like wasted potential, and that she doesn't really act anymore, because she's a really great actress in my opinion. You can't fake talent like that. Next up we have Hilary. Lizzie Mcguire, I didn't really watch, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I did think it was a really good show. But the reason I put her here is because she's had a bit of longevity with her acting career, and she still stars in that show Younger, so she's got that going for her. And then lastly we have Demi, who unfortunately for me just doesn't really pack a punch when it comes to acting. She had her Disney run where she did Sunny with a Chance and Camp Rock and the Princess Protection Program, but she hasn't done much else when it comes to the film and TV sector. But yeah, this is my ranking for film and TV. We got Lindsay, Miley, Selena, Hilary, and Demi. Next up, let's get into their music. So starting with Hilary Duff's discography, in 2002 she released the Disney album titled Santa Claus Lane. I didn't find much on this album, so I assume it was just kind of meh. In 2003 she released her second and first non-Disney studio album, Metamorphosis. The album went triple platinum and she won Rolling Stone's Teenage Artist of the Year. Duff was credited with the revival of Hollywood records following the release, with the San Fernando Valley Business Journal writing that the album was giving Hollywood records a needed shot in the arm after a decline in CD sales during the previous 2 years, which had forced the label to reduce costs after its operation. So she had clearly helped out the label really well, which is good for her. Duff's transition from Disney star to successful singer became a formula that Hollywood record tried to implement with future acts such as Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, and Demi Lovato. In 2004, she released her third album, self-titled Hilary Duff, which earned platinum certification. In 2007, she released her fourth studio album, Dignity. It was praised for offering a more mature sound and received both critical and commercial acclaim. By 2014, she had sold 15 million albums, and she then released her fifth studio album, Breathe In, Breathe Out, in 2015. Alrighty, so next up, let's get into Lindsay Lohan's discography. So yes, Lindsay Lohan does have a music career, if you didn't know. So Lindsay recorded a song for the film Freaky Friday Ultimate, which was released to the Radio Disney to help promote the film. The song peaked at number 18 on the Radio Disney's Top 30. Lohan announced that the song was separate from her singing career, since many teen idols such as Hilary Duff and Raven-Symoné were expanding their careers from acting to singing. In 2003, Lindsay recorded 4 songs which were released for the soundtrack to Lohan's film Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. You guys remember that song? That girl was a real damn teenage drama queen, and that girl was me. Yeah. Lindsay's debut album, Speak, was released in 2004. The album was the first high seller of the Casablanca records in several years, selling 1 million copies in the United States. The album received mostly negative reviews, with critics commenting that Lohan isn't a bad singer, but is not an extraordinary singer either. Lindsay's second album, A Little More Personal, was released in 2005, and it peaked at number 20 on the Billboard 200 chart and was officially certified gold. Lohan co-wrote most of her songs on the album, which received a mixed critical response, and Slant magazine called it contrived for all the so-called weighty subject matter. There's not much meat to those bones. Ouch. Next up, let's go on to Miley's discography. So this one's going to be a long one because Miley has really had quite the time with her music career. With Disney under the guise of Hannah Montana, Miley had 5 studio albums for which she attained 2 number ones and 3 top 5 soundtracks on the US Billboard 200. In order to promote her non-Hannah Montana albums, Miley went on the Best of Both Worlds tour, where she performed as both Miley and Hannah, giving you the best of both worlds. And Ticketmaster officials commented that there hadn't been this high of a demand since the Beatles or Elvis. Can we just understand how iconic that is? The Hannah Montana movie soundtrack, which features The Climb, went on to become Cyrus's 4th entry into the top Billboard 200, and at the age of 16, she became the youngest artist in history to have 4 number 1 albums on the chart. She then embarked on her first world tour as Miley, the Wonder World Tour, which was a critical and commercial success. Miley, without the label of Hannah, has 7 studio albums, 1 Grammy nomination, 3 Billboard wins, and dozens of international chart-topping hits, and Billboard ranked her as the 4th best-selling female artist of 2009. Miley's discography, independent of Hannah, includes the US number 1 albums Meet Miley Cyrus, Breakout, Bangers, the top 5 releases Can't Be Tamed, Younger Now, Plastic Hearts, and the free SoundCloud album Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, and her EPs The Time of Our Lives and She Is Coming, also debuted within the top 5. Plastic Hearts is Miley Cyrus's best reviewed album on Metacritic. Of course, it's such an iconic album, and I agree, it is her best album, and it became her first entry into the Billboard Rock chart, debuting atop of the chart. Her most popular singles include the US Top 10 charting See You Again, 7 Things, The Climb, Party in the USA, Can't Be Tamed, We Can't Stop, Malibu, and the chart-topping Wrecking Ball and Party in the USA, which are both certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, one of the rare songs in history to achieve this milestone. And the music video for We Can't Be Stopped set the Vivo record for the most views within 24 hours of its release and became the first to reach 1 million views on the site. Miley's career accolades include entries in the Time 100 list in 2008 and 2014, MTV's Best Artist of 2013 award, and placement on the Billboard's Greatest of All Time Artist chart in 2019, which is a really, really big deal, you guys. And she is often regarded as one of the few examples of a successful childhood actor turned singer. Next up, we have Selena Gomez's discography. So Selena, at the age of 16, signed a recording contract with Hollywood Records, which had already signed Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato. And she released 3 albums with her former band, Selena Gomez and the Scene, Kiss and Tell, A Year Without Rain, and When the Sun Goes Down, all of which peaked within the top 10 on the US Billboard 200 and attained gold certifications. Additionally, she released 3 albums as a solo artist, Stars Dance, Revival, and Rare, all of which debuted atop of the Billboard 200's chart. She has scored 8 top 10 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, Come and Get It, The Heart Wants What It Wants, Good For You, Same Old Love, Hands to Myself, We Don't Talk Anymore, It Ain't Me, and Lose You to Love Me, which became her first #1 single on the chart. Her latest album, Rare, debuted in 2020 to a positive critical response and debuted atop the Billboard 200, and it became her 3rd consecutive #1 album. In 2017, Billboard reported that Selena has sold over 7 million albums and 22 million singles worldwide, and she has received various accolades and was honored as the Billboard's Woman of the Year in 2017. Very impressive, if I do say so myself. Next up, let's get on to Demi Lovato's discography. So for Camp Rock shared the iconic soundtrack, This Is Me. This is real, this is me, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now, which was a duet with Joe Jonas, which became a top 10 single on the Billboard's 100. In 2008, she released her first album, Don't Forget, which debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200s. She promoted this album on tour alongside her Camp Rock co-stars, the Jonas Brothers. In 2009, she released her second album, Here We Go Again. The title track reached #15 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it her first single to reach the top 20. She went on tour again with the Jonas Brothers the following year, and she released her third studio album, Unbroken, in 2011, which featured the platinum top hit 100, Skyscraper. Like a skyscraper. Such a good song. She put out her next record, Demi, in 2013, which has the best debut week of her music career. In 2015, she released her popular single, Cool for the Summer. We're cool for the summer. Don't be a bummer. Go Kiss Your Lover, for her 5th studio album, Confident. The single hit #11 on the Hot 100s, and the album reached #2 on the Billboard 200s. The artist enjoyed more success with her 6th studio album, Tell Me You Love Me, in 2017, which spawned the hit single, Sorry Not Sorry. Baby, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Such a good song. Okay, so that is the discography of all of our stars. Now let's go ahead and rank them. Okay, so #1 in the music for me just has to be Miley Cyrus. I think Miley Cyrus has had such an amazing run in the music career. I think to me, she is the most vocally gifted, probably. She has the most distinctive eras in her music. She has the most hits when it comes to her singles, and probably the most accolades and awards as well. So #1 spot is Miss Miley Cyrus. #2 is gonna go to Selena Gomez. Even though I'm not a personal fan of her music or her voice, I have to give it to her. She has a lot of albums. She's done really well for herself, really popular. A lot of singles that have topped the charts, so I have to give it to her. #3, we have Demi Lovato. I think Demi's run has been really, really, really good. I think she has an amazing voice, probably the second best in my opinion. And she's had some really good singles like Cool for the Summer, Skyscraper, and Sorry Not Sorry. So I'm going to put her at #3. Next up, I'm going to put Hilary Duff, because I did listen to a couple of her albums, and you know, they do have some success, and I don't think her voice is that amazing, but it's also not that bad. So I'm going to put her next. So for the 5th one, I'm going to put Lindsay. Look, I love your singles and the movies that you were in, but when it comes to your albums, they're just not it for me. And it hurts me to say this. It pains me to say this, because I love me some Lindsay. But unfortunately, Lindsay's going to have to go to the bottom of the music category. Okay. Next up, we have public image. So let's get into it, because this is where all the juicy tea is. So onto Hilary Duff's public image. So in 2001, it was confirmed that Hilary was in a relationship with fellow teen star Aaron Carter after he guest starred in an episode of Lizzie Mcguire where they shared a kiss. The relationship garnered media attention with reports of a love triangle between Duff, Carter, and actress Lindsay Lohan. So Hilary and Aaron continued their on and off relationship for 3 years before ultimately ending it. In 2005, Katie Long from the Center of Parent, Youth and Understanding wrote an analysis of Duff and her suitability as an idol for young teens. And she wrote, Duff is not like Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera yet, celebrities who seem to use their sex appeal to sell albums, but remain someone that adolescent girls can relate to. So she had a pretty squeaky clean image, especially compared to some of the other artists that we will get into. In 2007, Duff's appearance on the cover of Maxim was accompanied by the declaration that she had gone from the queen of a teen to a breakout sex symbol. In my opinion, it was a little bit dramatic, but honestly, when it comes to these teen idols, the second they show a bit of skin, they're calling them sex symbols. Following this, Duff placed at number 23 on the annual Hot 100 Women list compiled compiled by Maxim. The Associated Press wrote that the sudden provocativeness was representative of a clear move on Duff's part to put her Lizzie Mcguire past behind her. They're basically saying that her having more provocative image would help her sell more songs, which I don't know if that's what she was going for, but I think honestly when it comes to these Disney stars, they all grow up eventually, and as you grow up you want to come more into your sexuality, and that's just the way it is. I mean, people like Britney Spears got criticized for her sex appeal as well, when you know what, they're just women being women, embracing their sexuality. But back in the day, and still to this day, the media has a problem with that. And Hilary didn't really have many controversies except for in 2016 where her and her ex-boyfriend dressed up for Halloween as a pilgrim and a Native American, and they drew tons of criticism online for this, rightfully so, and some social media users accused them of cultural appropriation. Following the backlash, both of them posted apology messages on their respective platforms. I don't want to talk too much about her dating or family life because to me it's honestly boring. I don't really care that much about their relationships. All I needed to know is that she was in some sort of love triangle with Lindsay Lohan and Aaron Carter. So let's move on to Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan has a lot of drama. Like, I am scrolling through my notes when it comes to her public image, so I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible, but it's Lindsay Lohan. She is a pop legend when it comes to having a messy public image. So behind all the movie and music success, Lindsay was shrouded in controversy. She was constantly photographed in nightclubs, seen allegedly underage drinking and taking schnackles, if you know what I mean, and her lifestyle became the #1 subject of tabloids, ranging from her father's prison scandals to her own struggles with disordered eating. She was all over the tabloids. You could not avoid seeing Lindsay on a tabloid during the early 2000s. Randomly, I just wanted to note that she dated an actor, Wilmer Valderrama, in 2004, who later becomes Demi Lovato's longtime boyfriend, and after this, Aaron Carter with Hilary, so there's a lot of crossovers with Disney stars that Lindsay has been dating. Lindsay just really likes to tip her toes in there. In May of 2007, Lindsay was arrested for crashing her Mercedes into a tree in Beverly Hills. How bougie. Reminds me of the time that I crashed my Toyota Corolla into an old man's car. Back in the day, memes, me and Lindsay, one and the same. She was arrested on July 24th for allegedly engaging in a car chase with the mother of her former personal assistant. In both cases, she was found to be in possession of small amounts of schnackles. However, it was below the 0.5 grams required for felony charges. After her legal run-ins, Lindsay was only charged with 2 counts of driving under the influence and a single count of reckless driving. However, a passenger in the car Lindsay was accused of chasing on the 24th sued the star for assault and negligence. Lindsay dodged felony charges when she reached a plea deal on a misdemeanor drunken driving and schnackle charges on August 23rd. She received a minimum sentence of 4 days in jail and credit for 24 hours already served. The sentence was then knocked down to only 1 day in jail for performing 10 days of community service at a mortuary in a hospital emergency room. Ultimately, the actress wound up spending just 84 minutes behind bars that year. Oh god. Queen of avoiding her jail sentence, honestly. Her sentence also included mandatory rehab in August 2007. She checked into the Cirque Lodge Treatment Center in Sundance, Utah, her 3rd stint in rehab that year. After checking out in October, she told OK Magazine that the experience was sobering and humbling, and that her 2 main priorities were to stay sober and stay out of Los Angeles. Entering her 30s, Lindsay keeps a pretty low profile in Dubai, where she resides. She did have a reality show called Lohan's Beach House Club in Mykonos, Greece, but she was rarely ever on it. It was mainly about the cast members. And in terms of all of her arrests, this was just the tip of the iceberg. There is so many more, so I'll link down an article down below on E! Online if you would like to read more about her arrests. But that's pretty much the highlights of Lindsay's public image. I could make a whole video on Lindsay, but a channel that I really like, Mila Tequila, has already done that, so I'll just go ahead and link her video down below for your viewing pleasure. So let's move on to Miley Cyrus's public image. So after her breakup with her infamous relationship with Nick Jonas, Miley started her teenage rebellion with a more darker and scandalous look. She dyed her hair black, really went up with the eyeliner, and wore more scandalous outfits. She really started dirtying up her Disney image, and this is when parents started really getting concerned about Miley being an idol for their children. But Miley was just a typical teen, and her best friend at the time, Mandy Urux, began posting videos on YouTube in February of 2008, referring to the clips as The Miley and Mandy Show. Mila Tequila also just did an entire amazing video on this, so if you want to check that out with the feud between Miley and Mandy and Demi and Selena, I will link that down below. She's honestly becoming one of my favorite pop culture channels at the moment, so I highly recommend you could check her out. So anyway, back to The Miley and Mandy Show. They garnered a large following, but in 2008, several images of Miley in her underwear and swimsuit were leaked by a teenage hacker who accessed her Gmail account. Further controversy arose when it was reported that Miley, at age 15, had posed topless during a photo shoot with Anne Leibovitz for Vanity Fair. Once again, this is like very, very dramatic because the photo shoot was literally just her with a sheet covering her, but I could see why it's inappropriate considering she's 15, but I think they just wanted to go from a raw, stripped back look, like no makeup look, but they kind of missed the nail on the head with this one. The New York Times later clarified that although the shots left the impression that she was bare-breasted, Cyrus was wrapped in a bedsheet and she was not topless. Anyway, Miley was the subject of further controversy when a video was posted in December of 2010 of her at 18 smoking salvia with a bong. Naughty, naughty. She then had her infamous relationship with Liam Hemsworth that started with the movie The Lost Song in 2010, and they sadly called it quits in 2019. But it's not all bad because we got the iconic song Slide Away out of it. Move on, we're not 17. I'm not who I used to be. I'm so bad at singing, it's ridiculous. Now, one can't forget Miley's most iconic era, the Bangers era in 2013, where she first cut and bleached her hair short, and she stated that she had never felt more like herself, but this was a really, really big deal at the time. And she started wearing really, really provocative clothes and reignited the twerking dance move, even though she don't really got a butt, but she did what she did, and we appreciate it. And we also can't forget her raunchy and sexually driven performance at the 2013 VMAs, where she repeatedly touched Robin Thicke's crotch area and proceeded to twerk on him. Really raunchy stuff at the time. In the very same year, Miley sparked another uproar. This time, she smoked what appeared to be a joint on the stage of the MTV Europe Music Awards. However, MTV decided to remove the scene from the delayed broadcast of the program. In 2014, she launched the Happy Hippie Foundation, a non-profit organization that serves homeless youth, LGBTQ youth, and other vulnerable populations. Since its release, the organization has served 1,500 homeless youth in Los Angeles, along with the thousands of marginalized LGBTQ communities and youth in conflict zones. We love a philanthropist queen. Miley's always been really experimental, and she released her 5th album, which in my opinion is a worse studio album, Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, which the lead single was baby talk, and she was in a music video dressed as a baby, acting like a baby. I'm all for experimental, but the whole thing was just really bizarre. In 2016, she was a judge on The Voice, making her the youngest singer to ever appear in the series. Miley distanced herself from her previously controversial public image in her album in 2017, Younger Now. The album lacked some promo, but it was an important career revival for her. She leans into her country roots and sweet talks her then sweetheart Liam Hemsworth on its lead single, Malibu, which is all about the house that they lived in Malibu. In 2013, she also released the iconic breakup song, Slide Away, like I mentioned before. Such a good song. Then coming in 2020, she released her 7th studio album, Plastic Hearts, after her EP, She Is Coming, which was really, really great. And Plastic Hearts is a rock and pop album, which in my opinion has not a single skip. And I think it's her best album to date, and I'm really digging this whole pop rock album sort of vibe that she's got going on. And in my opinion, Miley Cyrus has the greatest, most distinctive eras when it comes to her career. Okay, next up, let's go to Selena Gomez's public image. So Selena Gomez is pretty squeaky clean, unlike Lindsay and Miley. You know what? Sometimes a bad girl is what gets in the tabloids and gets your name out there. So Selena Gomez has a huge following on social media, and at one point before Ariana Grande beat her, she was the most followed person on Instagram. Her ventures include having her own makeup line, Rare Beauty, a clothing line, a handbag line, a fragrance line, and a production company named July Moonhead Productions. She has worked with various charitable organizations, and at age 17, she was appointed the UNICEF ambassador. So Selena embarked on her Stars Dance tour in 2013. After touring North America and Europe, the tour was set to continue throughout 2014, but Selena cancelled the Australian and Asian legs of the tour in December of 2013, claiming that she'd be taking a hiatus to spend time with her family. However, later on in 2014, Selena had been reported spending 2 weeks at the Dawn at the Meadows, which is a treatment center in Wickenburg, Arizona, that specializes in treating addiction and trauma in young people. Her representative stated that she spent time there voluntarily, but not for substance abuse. Selena confirmed in 2015 that she'd been diagnosed with lupus, and then after cancelling the tour, she entered rehab to undergo chemotherapy. So she's had a really big battle when it comes to her mental and physical health, which I definitely sympathize for, and therefore it's kind of understanding why she cancelled her tour. However, she embarked on her second World War tour, the Revival Tour, in 2016, and she claimed that the tour would focus solely on her as an artist and would feature less choreography and fewer effects than her previous tour. After touring in North America, Asia, and Oceania, she cancelled the European and South American legs of the tour in August of 2016 due to anxiety anxiety, panic attacks, and depression caused by her lupus. So following the cancellation of her tour, Selena rechecked into rehab to focus on her mental health and was noticeably absent from social media. She made her first public appearance at the 2016 American Music Awards, where she was nominated for 2 awards for Favorite Pop Rock Female Artist and Artist of the Year. So you guys remember when I was speaking about 13 Reasons Why? Well, when the show premiered, the series drew a backlash from various mental health charities and suicide prevention communities over dangerous content, which some people felt the show glamorized suicide. And there was a really huge controversy. I spoke about this in my romanticizing mental health video. In 2017, Selena was cast in the Woody Allen film A Rainy Day in New York, but due to the allegations of sexual abuse against Allen, Selena donated her salary to the Time Up initiative. We love a charitable queen. So we can't speak about Selena Gomez's public image without speaking about her dating life. So in 2008, she dated Nick Jonas, and she appeared in the music video for his band's song Burnin' Up. Obviously, this was a big deal because Miley dated Nick Jonas. Girl code, but I don't really think they were ever friends back then. In 2010, Selena began dating Justin Bieber, and after separating in 2012, they reconciled a few weeks later before splitting up in 2013, then reconciled in the months of each 2013, 2014, and 2015, and then later in 2017 and 2018. Ooh, geez, speak about an on and off relationship. In between that, she also dated DJ Zed in 2015, but they later broke up that year. She also started dating The Weeknd in 2017, and they even moved in together, but then separated in that same year. So Selena hasn't really had the best track record when it comes to dating, but you know what? That's her private life, so I won't speculate too much. Alrighty, on to the public image of Demi Lovato. So she's had a lot of success in her career. I mean, she was the judge on The X Factor. She guest judged on RuPaul's Drag Race in 2015. I'm pretty sure Miley did as well. And she was also in Project Runway, and she was in The Voice Germany in 2017. In 2020, Demi was tapped to perform at the Grammy Awards and sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. So let's get into the juicy tea. While on tour with the Jonas Brothers in 2010, Demi Lovato got into an altercation with a dancer where she had the iconic line, "I'm about to beat this bitch up," where she basically got dobbed in for doing Adderall, and then she like punched the girl in the face. Big dramas. However, after this incident, Demi did seek treatment, and she drew attention in 2018 for the release of her song Sober, in which she spoke candidly about her addiction problems and how she was on the path of sobriety. In July of 2018, the singer was rushed to hospital for an apparent overdose. She's also gone public about her diagnosis with bipolar and has spoken about on Cosmopolitan for Latinas that she does take medication to help manage it. And she opened up about her disorder and other difficulties like her struggle with disordered eating. And in the 2017 documentary, Demi Lovato, Simply Complicated. In 2020, she went public with a relationship with actor-singer Max Enrich, and the pair got engaged in 2020, but then ended the relationship later on in the year. And she also apparently did schniffle schnackles, allegedly, when she was on Disney Channel. Well, she's literally spoken about it, so, you know, the tea is in the pudding. Anyway, that's it for all the public images of our icons, and let's go ahead and rank their public images. Alrighty, so the most iconic public image for me is probably gonna have to be Lindsay Lohan. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's gonna go. That's the way it's gonna roll. I think she was a pop socialite, and I think she just really pioneered the whole 2000s era. Like her, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, they really ran the game, and the girls don't do it like that anymore. I'm gonna have to put her at the top. Next up, we have Miley Cyrus. I feel like Miley Cyrus has had such an iconic career. Her public image is honestly really tied with Lindsay. Honestly, I kind of want to like, should I flip it? Let's put Miley first and then Lindsay, because I feel like Miley has been able to withstand the test of time, whereas unfortunately Lindsay hasn't. So we'll go Miley, then we'll go Lindsay. Then we're gonna go ahead and go with Selena Gomez, because I feel like with her relationship drama with Justin Bieber, she just always kept her in the tabloids and kept her public image really up there, but she also does a lot of charity work, which I think is really good. Then we're gonna go ahead and put Demi Lovato. She's been really candid with her mental health and her struggles with addiction, which I'm sure helps a lot of different people and really raises up her public image, and she has a good public image. And then we're going to go ahead and put Hilary Duff. So that is the rankings. As you can see, we have all of the different icons ranked from top to bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and add it all up and then come back to you with who is the most iconic. So basically the way I do it is like they get a 5 if they're at the top of their category, and then they get a 1 if they're at the bottom for each different category, and I'll add it all up. So the most you could get is 15 and the least you could get is 3. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. It makes sense in my mind. Alrighty guys, so my mathematics is done and all my calculations are in, and in the top spot for pop icon, we have Miley Cyrus with 14 points. Second place, we have Lindsay Lohan with 10 points. Third place, we have Selena Gomez with 8 points. 4th place, we have Demi Lovato with 6 points. And 5th place, we have Hilary Duff with 5 points. So that is my official ranking for the most iconic to the least iconic pop idols from the Disney era, teen idols, whatever you want to call them. I would love to hear who you guys think is the most iconic in the comments down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. If you've not already, please make sure that you go ahead and follow me on all my social media, which is just linked down below. If you'd like to support me further, you can follow me on my second channel, follow me on my podcast, buy my merch, or book me on Cameo, all linked down below. And yeah, guys, that's it for me in this video. Thank you so much to Harry's for sponsoring once again. Check the link in the description. And without further ado, that's the end of this video. I'll catch you guys in my next one, hopefully. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye!